I am here to talk about something I have been meaning to talk about for a while now, and that is going to America on a US scholarship, an NCAA scholarship. And I'm doing this video because I am absolutely sick and tired of seeing these organizations, these companies that are charging kids and their parents a lot of money, up to like 5-6 grand, to get a scholarship. And I think that is absolute bullshit. Some people may know and others may not. I have been to 2 schools now on scholarship, one D1 school and one D2 school. My first D1 school, as you can see, as I've put up there, is Villanova University, which was one of the top distance schools in the country. And secondly, Academy of Art, now I can get rid of this, was a D2 school that I reached out to last year, and I'm currently enrolled there. Apart from the coronavirus stuff, I'm hoping to go back. I want to make it as simple and not boring as possible, because it's a long process, but it's an easy process, and it's a process that anyone can do. My dumbass can do it, you can do it. I'm going to show you my results here, see what type of person I was coming out of high school when I was 16, 17. I didn't have good grades, as you can see that I'm probably going to place here. I didn't concentrate in school. I wasn't a great student. I just never studied. I never did anything like that. But who am I to be talking about this? Who the hell am I? Well, for those who don't know, I am a Welsh athlete who seemed to run quite well as a kid, and I'm still chasing those times to this day. I ran for Wales, Great Britain on numerous occasions, and I think I ran, I don't know if it means anything, 148 at about 18 years old. So that's important to know, because I would have been at the top end of my sport at that age, and universities obviously would love that, especially American universities. They're looking for people who can run like that, which may be different to someone who's applying who maybe isn't at that standard yet, but I still think this is helpful, because it doesn't matter who you are. I absolutely believe that you can do this all by yourself and very easily. And I just want to go through the steps, what I did, what I had to do, what I think the best way to do it is. So I'm just going to get straight into it. Enough about me. Like I said, I've been to 2 schools, D1, D2, at the highest level, did the whole NCAA system, done it all. And now I'm here to tell you how to do it so you can avoid these bloody companies that are just rinsing people out of money for something that anyone can do. So step 1, really simple. I could stop here at step 1 and switch the video, but I'm going to go through all of it, kind of what I did, so you know what to expect. But step 1 was simply researching universities. I went on Penn Relay's results. I went to the Florida Relay's results. I looked at West Coast, like Stanford meet results from colleges, and I found universities that had people with the standard that I was at, and that people who were good enough that I wanted to train with at that time, that I wanted to be like at that time. So I found a list of like 10, 20 schools, and I simply sent an email. And the email is here. So I'm just going to leave that up on the screen. You can read it while I talk, because I'm not going to go through it. But this is my first email, and I'm going to put my second email up when I graduated and wanted to go back. I'll put that up a bit later, but it's very similar. But some people say, well, who'd you email? How do you find the email? Every single track team in the country has a track page specific to their college. So you type in the university you want, so Villanova University track and field team, it'll come up, and you click roster, and it will come up with all the coaches on the team right then and their email addresses. Pick them all. Send the email to every single one if you want. I would send them to 2 or 3 just in case the email doesn't get missed. Sometimes it's not best to send to the head coach because they're swamped with emails, but the assistant coaches usually are really responsive. I'd recommend send it to them, but just to be safe, send it to the head coach, assistant, like specific events coach. And just say who you are, what you're looking for. As you can see, I'm sure if I did put it up there on editing, I said who I was, what times I'd ran, what I was looking for, and why I wanted to go to that university. I'd looked up the times, the results. They had a great team, and they had people running at a standard that I wanted to run at. So that's step 1. And I literally could stop there. I really could stop there. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. But what's going to happen is one of 2 things. You're not going to get a response, and you're going to email back and back, and you're not going to get a response. Move on. You're going to get a response, and they're interested. And that's really it. If they're interested, they're going to guide you through the whole process. They literally walk you through it. And the thing is, they have a whole department, a whole compliance department, telling you how to get there. A whole compliance department giving you instructions on what to do, specific websites, like specific things you need to do. It's literally like an instruction manual. They handhold you the whole way. If they want you, they're going to get you there, and they're going to give you all the help you need. And that's why it annoys me that these organizations are making it seem like they're doing you a favor when they're not, because there's a university department that is specifically for getting international kids into the school, the compliance department, that do it for free. So, like, am I crazy? Or like, anyway, another thing is going to happen. They're going to tell you if they have full ride, or they're going to tell you half ride, or whatever money they have. Sometimes you're not always going to be lucky that year to get the full ride, because they only have 12 scholarships for men, and I can't remember, is it double for women? I can't remember the exact things, but they only have a certain amount of scholarships, and they might have used the money up by the time you emailed. It might have nothing to do with your talent. You could be a 143 guy, or a 43, 400 guy. But if they don't have the money, you're not going to get the scholarship. But that's something you can either wait a year, or you can. We're not talking about that aspect. We're talking about the aspect of the coaches responded back to you and said that we're interested, and they're going to walk you through it. They're going to ask you for a few things, and the process is daunting, and that's where I lead to step 2, all the academic stuff. This is the really boring and really just. It's not tricky, it's just a lot of specific things that they need. For instance, they need your grades from GCSE to A-level. I didn't have great grades at all. I didn't study once throughout high school, and the only time I did study in my entire life was for the ACT, which was an exam I needed to get into America. But I'll go into that a bit later. They're going to want to see all your grades. They're going to want to see where you stand. Are you an A student, a B student? If I'm honest, it doesn't really matter unless you're really going to an Ivy League. If you've got a lot of talent and you're sought after, then they're going to try and get you in no matter what. And the only thing you'd really need to focus on is the ACT or SAT. But again, I don't want to get too confusing with that. I'll explain what those things are later. So I had to send off all my exam grades and everything, and they looked over, and for me they were like, look, that's not good enough. Like, we're Villanova, we're a top 50 school, we're academic, like it's difficult to get into this school. And I kind of almost gave up hope then, but again, they handheld me through, and they said, look, we're going to try and get you in no matter what. And this might not always be the case, but if it isn't, there are still routes you can go down to try and get into this school, or into a school that you want. And so after that, they're going to go give all your stuff to compliance and kind of give you an idea of where you stand. And if the process starts moving forward, this is where it gets really annoying. They want physical copies of everything. And that's step 3. Okay, here's a quick one. I forgot to record this earlier, and it's quite an important part of the application process that I completely forgot. So sorry, I had to change. Didn't have time to set up the camera and lighting properly. So education. I didn't mention education. And what you're looking for, apart from athletics, which actually is really important. Going to America, for some reason, I just wanted to have somewhere where my degree would be worthwhile, and that I would have a good academic and athletic side. Some colleges are known for not having great educations and having joke degrees, and then some colleges are known for having great degrees and great athletics track programs. So in terms of searching for what you want, make sure you look at the school's rankings, or just talk with the coach a bit about what academics is like in the school. They'll be very honest and upfront with you. Some degrees don't translate from the America to the UK or Ireland, so that's something you're going to need to look into too. But this is all stuff you can talk with the coach, talk with the international department of the school, or talk with the compliance department of the school. They can give you all the information you need if it will convert to British or European education, and all those type of things. So for me, I actually looked on the top lists of the universities in the US. I don't know why I did this. I wasn't a smart kid, so I just guess I had this arrogance somewhere that I wanted to do something clever, even though I wasn't someone who worked hard. But I didn't actually know what I wanted to do going into university, which will be different to a lot of people. I chose my degree out there. I actually did political science in the end and got a 3.01 GPA, which was actually pretty good, over average, I guess. I just switched on and worked properly for the first time in my life. I think that came with maturity and just kind of focusing on education as well. But some degrees will be really easy. Some will be made for athletes, which is which is funny. I don't want to say too much about those degrees, or just know what you're looking for. There are specific universities that have very specific degrees. Obviously, if you're going to an Ivy League, then you're really putting education first, and education will come before athletics, which is fine, which is what you need and what you want if you want to go to an Ivy League. And other colleges will have a really easy academic program, but might still have a great track program. So research the degree, research the education, just to see what you want. You can go in knowing exactly what you want, or you can go in and not know anything and pick your degree a second year in. That's how the American education system works. You can go in and change your degree after a year. You can come in undeclared, which means you don't have to decide your degree just yet and can shop around with different electives. That's an amazing thing about the system. If you're looking for something a bit more rigorous, or you have a degree in mind, bear in mind you will need to apply for that degree as well as getting into the school. Your athletics, if you're getting on scholarship and they're gonna offer you money, will probably get you in. The coaches will push you to get in and give you some leeway there. If it's a really strict program, then you might need to have more of an academic profile to get in there, but it's not usually a problem. If they're offering you full ride, they're going to help you in every way and get you on the degree you want most of the time. Just do your research. It's as simple as that, and whatever education you want, go for it. Whether it be good education, you just want to focus on track and running or jumping or throwing, then do that. It's all up to you, and there are so many colleges and there is so much choice. So yeah, go ahead with that. Sending all your documents off to either the school or the NCAA clearinghouse, which you're going to get really, really used to and sick of, the compliance thing. I had to go to my school, physically go to my high school, get my grades printed off again and stamped by the school, and then sent in an envelope to like the NCAA and the school. So they just check over to see that you're legit, that you did high school, that you have grades, just so you're not faking it. And that stuff can be a pain in the ass, a real pain in the ass, but it's simple. It's just, you're literally just sending stuff away. And the only pain is it takes so long to do anything. You send your documents off, it costs a little bit of money, and then it takes ages to do. But yeah, after that, you're probably moving forward at that point. If you're sending your stuff off to the NCAA, they're checking your eligibility. So have you received any money? Like sponsorship money, or like if you're that good and you're getting money, it's going to be way trickier because they want amateur status for you as an athlete. But again, that's a different level of athlete. That's not where I was, so I can't really speak for that. I was getting a bit of scholarship off, money off Welsh Athletics and things like that, but it was more for like transport and stuff, which again, look into that more, and compliance will talk more about that. The compliance department is better than whatever I can say here. So yeah, step 4, if you go along the process, they're going to make you do an exam. So the 2 exams you can take, the ACT and the SAT. They're both multiple choice exams, and one, I think it's English, science, maths, and reading or something like that. Well, it was for me. They're actually pretty easy. I mean, I really didn't think they were anything too difficult, and I think that anyone with a decent education, or even with a normal education, will be able to do well with these exams. Here's my results up here. 23 is, and you can see I guessed every single answer on the maths set. Like I know nothing about math at all. And I just ticked AC. I guessed every single one, didn't look at it, but I needed 21 to get into Villanova, and I got 23. If you want an Ivy League, you're going to need like 31 or over in the ACT. In the SAT, I don't know the numbers, but like it's a similar format, multiple choice questions. You have to take these somewhere in the UK, specific locations that do them at specific dates. So it's something you like can prepare for. And here's the thing that wound me up the most about these companies. I saw that one of my old training partners, good friend of mine, and a really talented athlete, and you know, I'd like to think that he could have got in easily to a lot of places. He went through one of these programs, and they offer tutoring. Now, you might be thinking, well, what's wrong with tutoring? If you need it to go to America and you need to pass these exams, then what's wrong? There's a book or 2 books. one for the ACT and one for the SAT. They're like, I can't remember what they're called, but I'll put them up here and I'll put a link in the description or whatever. They literally cover exactly the type of question you're going to be asked in the ACT and SAT. Like almost the exact same questions will be used. Like the driving test theory, anyone in the UK who's learn how to drive, the driving test theory, like practice manual that literally has like the questions in, it's like that. If you study that book, you can get full marks. And I know that these kids who are going are way smarter than me, like way smarter than me. I had to resit my A-levels and you can see my resit results here. I still didn't do great. C, B, I can't remember, something like that. I'm sure you'll see here. But the ACT, I just read the book. I bought the book and I just read over what type of questions they were. And going into the exam, I felt like it was like weird, strangely too easy. Apart from the math section, I had no idea. So you don't need tutoring. You really don't. You just need to buy these books and you just study the books. And someone who's super smart, an A-level student could go into these exams, I think, and just ace them on their own. I would recommend it just so you know the format. But if someone like me, who's like a below average student, could do this ACT or SAT and pass it, then so can anyone else. Trust me. Just get the books and study. So you do your exam, you wait a few weeks to get your results, and then when the results come in, you send them off to the school. Luckily, I got the grades I needed. I also applied to another school on the West Coast. I don't want to say it just in case, but it's a very, very, very prestigious school. They said I needed a 23 to get in. I got a 23. And this was an extremely prestigious school, maybe just lower than an Ivy League. So look at the standards and just see that it's not impossible. You don't need tutoring. You just need these books. And I'm sick and tired of these bloody companies coming in and trying to give you the whole package. They give you a cake that you take a bloody photo with. Oh, frustrates me. So yeah, after that, you send your results in. They're just going to be like, yes, you're coming, or no, you're not. And for me, it was a little bit longer. I had to wait because of I had to convert my credits and all this rubbish. And yeah, I mean, I got admitted in November and I came in January, the next January. So like a month and a half or whatever it was. And I was there for the whole time. It was as simple as that. And they will literally walk through the whole process with you if they want you. If they're not too keen on you, they will still give you the email for compliance and they can walk through everything. They even have an international department for people looking to come to the school. It's like, it's mind-boggling how these companies are making money, but I know that they're doing that because they make it seem so confusing and convoluted. And so, it may seem confusing from an outside perspective, but it's not. I've done it twice, and like I said, I wouldn't be the smartest or the sharpest tool in the shed, admittedly. And it's different with Ivy Leagues. I still wouldn't go to any of those companies for an Ivy League because they can't offer scholarships, sports scholarships. Just remember that. So if they're trying to get you in an Ivy League, they're just going through the normal process. Again, email the coach, they'll talk to you, compliance will talk to you, and you'll get in based on what they tell you, or you won't get in. The second time I went, here's the email that I sent to the second coach. I mean, I was 24 at that point. I know what I wanted. I wanted to go back, so my email was a little shorter. Once they showed interest here, I said the whole thing. Here's who I am. Here's what happened to me in Villanova. Here's the type of guy I am. Here's the type of athlete I am. So the actual process, once you get admitted, you're going to go for your visa. You're going to apply for your service fee online. It's all online and it's all simple. You apply for your service fee ID. They're going to send you a document called the I-20, which is like your Bible for the next 4 years, which is basically proof that you're in or on scholarship. And then you're going to go to the visa center, have the interview, just say you're going on scholarship and you'll get approved. And then you can go off to America, no problems. So in terms of scholarship as well, I just want to touch on that. Once you get there, if you're on full ride, it works differently in different places. Some places will give you checks and you work out your own accommodation and food, or they'll recommend you stuff. They'll all recommend you something, and you have a team then that will tell you what to do. Or like I was at Villanova, they stick you on campus, you don't see the money, and you just live your life like a free student athlete. You get all your food paid for, all your accommodation paid for. The only thing I would say is I know some colleges do, but you're not going to get much social money. You're not going to get money for like socializing. I come from a low income background. That was a big adjustment for me. If you wanted to go out to the cinema every week or do something, you're not going to get money for that. In some schools, I know you might get a bit of excess money from your scholarship money, but it's not all the time. So definitely if finance is something that's really concerning for you, and if you're from a low income background, do find out what the whole like procedure is with your scholarship. I would just ask the coach, look, is it a check? Is it full ride that I don't have to worry about anything? I mean, I had a dining hall, 3 meals a day, so I was sorted. The only thing I needed to come up for myself was if I wanted to go socializing. So yeah, I mean, that's more like going there. So once you arrive there, you're part of the team and you've made it. Congrats. And you're either going to love it, hate it, or in between. But it's a fantastic experience. It's a life-changing experience. Whether it's good or bad, it's going to change you. I mean, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go to these schools. So yeah, thanks for listening. I hope I cut it down a little bit. I'll put anything else I need up here. But I just really wanted to go and say what this is. And if you need any specific information, emails or anything, please message me. Find me on Instagram, Elliot Slade, or Twitter, Elliot_Slade, and I'll answer any questions, help you through any part of the process, because I'm tired of seeing these kids and parents get scammed by these absolute ridiculous agencies that are doing stuff that anyone can do for free. So yeah,